Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at a program which is new to me, and that is PhotoMechanic. Now, PhotoMechanic is used for ingesting photos from your memory card, captioning them with an IPTC template, doing some further captioning, doing some sorting, some labeling, things like that. And it's used by a lot of sports photographers, photojournalists, and event photographers. I'm always hearing how fast it is and how much quicker it'll be for your workflow if you use this program. And there's even people out there that use it on top of a Lightroom workflow, which is what I previously used. And I couldn't figure out how it would be faster to add an additional program to the step. I didn't believe that that was going to be a good idea until I tried it. And last week I tried PhotoMechanic at a motorsports event that I was shooting, and I was very impressed with it. So I wanted to make this quick little video to show you guys some of the key features which make this program stand out for me. Let's go ahead and load up PhotoMechanic. So this is the main window. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. We're just going to do a sample ingest, and I'll show you some of the things that can speed up your workflow. Let's pop a memory card in. Now, the ingest window appears. This has got all the standard features that you would expect. Primary destination of files. You can have a secondary destination to make backups on the fly. I should also point out that you can run multiple ingest windows simultaneously. So unlike Lightroom, you could have 2, 3, 4 memory card readers all ingesting at the same time, which can be a fantastic time saver in itself. I'm not going to do secondary just right now, so we can keep this speedy. But then we have all the usual controls for selecting which photos you want to ingest and all this kind of thing. And a folder structure as well. You need to create a folder structure on your destination. So this is where the first real time saver from PhotoMechanic comes into play. We have this variables button. Now, variables you'll see pop up all over PhotoMechanic. Whenever there's any kind of a field that you can input, be it IPTC or just something like this, we need folder name or a file name or something like that, you can use variables. Now, I'll scroll down this here, you'll see how many there are. This is a list of variables. We have GPS data, time data, IPTC fields, and then all the EXIF information from the camera down to every last detail, including things like the serial number of your camera and how many frames it's shot in its lifetime. And basically what this does is it gives you a quick shortcut to any of this information within that file that you've shot. So if the form that you're trying to fill out or the section of IPTC data or anything like that needs to have some information from the file, you can create these shortcuts really quickly. So I'll just go through an example here. When I ingest my photos, I like to have them initially in a folder which is labeled with the year that it was shot. So here we go, I have IPTC year 4 and I have year 2. Now this is the year in 2-digit or 4-digit format. So double click. This puts in IPTC year 4. And then I'm going to put this in a /, and then I want to create another folder, and in this case we're going to go IPTC year 4 again, and we're going to go hyphen. Then I want to have a month. Now I can see IPTC month 0 here. That means that you can see when you click on something it gives you a little information about it. 0 padded, so it'll be 01, 02, 03. That's what I want to do here. So we'll go IPTC month. We're going to go hyphen, and then we'll just scroll up a little bit and we'll find IPTC day 0 as well. So what we have now, copy photos into folder with name and then folder name here. So all these photos are going to go into a folder which is labeled with the year, and then inside that folder they're going to go into another folder which is labeled year, month, day. So that's how I prefer to do things. Not everyone's the same, but that's what works for me. And once you have this set up, you know, I'm not going to need to change this again. That's the format that I use for every file ingest. So the next place we've used variables, and I already have it set up over here, is rename ingested photos. So I want to rename the photos as they're coming onto the hard drive, and I'm going to rename them year, month, day, underscore, and then I have another variable here which is called frame. Now the frame variable is the frame number. It's the unique number that was attached to your file when you shot it in camera. So with the Canon cameras, for example, they tend to do 3 letters underscore and then a 4-digit number, which increases incrementally. Now I want to keep that unique number. That helps create a unique file name for me in my archive. So I have year, month, day, underscore, frame number, underscore, Dan Carr. So this is how I label all my files when I ingest them. Okay, so the next important button here is IPTC stationary pad. Let's go ahead and click that. Basically, this is where you're going to enter all of the IPTC information for your event or your So the next important button here is IPTC stationary pad. Let's go ahead and click that. This is where you're going to input all of the information for the particular event that you're shooting. Again, Photomechanic has some ways we can speed up the process for a lot of images. So you can obviously create templates which you can load and save using these buttons down here. And in this one, at the moment, I have all my personal information, all my copyright details, my contact information, all this kind of stuff. So this is what I put into every file that comes off my camera all the time. And then we want to customize this for the particular event that I was shooting. So the event was, let's just do the location information. In Brazelton, at Road Atlanta, which is the racetrack, in Georgia, and then USA. You can save anything that you put in one of these files into a drop-down menu. So if it's something that you can repeatedly use, you can add it to a menu for quicker access in the future. The next thing I want to have on all my files is a headline. Now, let's just say, for example, that all the photos on this ingest were from the qualifying session prior to this race. So let's put qualifying for the 2011 Petit Le Mans. That's the name of the race. So next thing we need is a caption. Now, obviously we can't fill out the full caption because not every image is going to have the same caption, but there's a lot of parts of the caption that are going to remain the same. So what we're going to do here, and this is where variables comes back into play again. Let's just type during space, and then we're going to find the IPTC fields down here, and we're going to look for headline. So where are we? IPTC, double click headline. So during headline. Now this is going to pull the headline tag which I've written here, qualifying for the 2011 Petit Le Mans. So right now the caption is going to say during qualifying for the 2011 Petit Le Mans. Then we're going to want to put the location. So we're going to put at, then we're going to find location in this list. Comma. We're going to put the city. Where are we? City. We're going to go for state. Comma. And one more thing, we're going to put country. So what this is going to do in this state here is caption every image during ingest with during qualifying for the 2011 Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta, Brazelton, Georgia, USA. The next thing we're going to want to do is put a date on that, on every caption, or at least this is what I'm doing for this event. Obviously you might be different with what you're doing, but I'm going to put on, and then we want to find the month. Now there's different months here, so as you'll see we got the information here, IPTC month name, so this is telling me that it's actually going to use the full name and not any sort of abbreviation or numbering for it. This is what I want to have here, so I'm going to have month name, space, then we're going to have day, with a 0 padding as we did before during the ingest. So we're going to have, in this case, this would be September, and I believe these were shot on the 29th, so this will say September 29th, and then we're just going to put one more thing in, and that is the year in 4-digit format again. I'm going to put a full stop, hit the space bar, and then the next thing I want to do is have a mandatory credit at the end of each caption. Now I already have credit here, photo Dan Carr, so all we need to do is again find the credit section here and just double click that, and now we have credit. So all of these photos are automatically going to get the caption during qualifying for the 2011 Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta, Braselton, Georgia, USA on September 29th, 2011, photo Dan Carr. Now that part of the caption is going to be the same for every photo that I ingest on that day. But the great thing about this is because we're using variables and not putting in the date here, every day that you do this, all I have to do is change this headline here. So instead of qualifying, I might change this to practice, but the date and possibly the location if you're moving around, this stuff is set in stone. This is just going to draw from all these other elements that I've filled out, so I don't need to worry about this ever again as long as I'm captioning in the same format. So let's go ahead, and I think that's all we need to do in this section here. Another thing, you might add some keywords, but I'm actually going to do a separate tutorial on that at a later date. So for the moment, let's close that stationary pad. Go ahead and ingest those photos. You can see they start appearing in the main Photo Mechanic window pretty quickly. Incidentally, I'm using a MacBook Air here, 2011 MacBook Air, and these are ludicrously fast when you import photos and use Photo Mechanic in general. Actually, it works really well. So now we have the photos in the main window. You'll see if you hover the mouse over any of these images, you get these 4 little symbols up. The bottom one, I. This takes you to the IPTC fields for that particular photo. So you can see all the fields that I filled out, all my information. And at the top here, you can see the caption has already started. This won't be the full caption for the photo, but it's the start. During qualifying for the 2011 Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta, Braselton, Georgia, USA on September 29th, 2011, photo Dan Carr. Now, that's half the caption done, and that was done automatically on Ingest, so that's a really good start. What we're going to take a look at now is the way that Photo Mechanic can help speed up the actual individual captioning process. So we can click through all these images and we can see that all of this stuff has already got the beginnings of their caption. Incidentally, you can also see here the file name that was given to it, 2011-09-29 underscore 0070 underscore dancar.jpg. So the file names that we wanted have been created there as well. So the next important thing that you can learn about Photo Mechanic, and this is what I really hoped it would be able to do before I looked further into it. So I'm glad to see that it worked really well. Now if we go Edit, Settings, we'll see this Set Code Replacements here. Now I'm going to open a code replacement in a second, but let's just go ahead and set one to start with, and I'll show you guys what this is in a second. So let's find our code replacement, PM code replacements, Petit Le Mans 2011. So what we're doing here is setting a file for a code replacement, and this is a basic text file, so we just add it here and then click OK. Now I'm going to open up a code replacement really quickly so you guys can see what this is. Just a simple text file, and what we have here is numbers of all the cars in this race that I was shooting, and then a tabbed space, and then these are the driver names and the description of the car. So we have the number 1 car driven by Timo Bernhard, Marcel Fessler, Romain Dumas, driving the number 1 LMP1 Audi Sport Team Ingest Audi R18. Now that's a mouthful that you don't want to have to keep typing into the caption information. So what a code replacement does is it allows you to create basically shortcuts during your captioning process. So the way that it works is if I were to go to an IPTC field and just type /1 / Photo Mechanic knows that I want to insert all of this text right here. So let's just make this a little bigger. Again, if I was trying to label the number 2 car, /2 / would enter Tom Christensen, Alan McNish, Dindo Capello driving the number 2 LMP Audi Sport Team US R18. So basically, for any sport where you have numbered teammates, numbered cars, any kind of stuff like that, you can create a code replacement prior to the event. You know, when you're flying there or something like that, take the time to create a code replacement like this, which has all of the information, and then it speeds up the captioning process 1,000 times. It's quite phenomenal, really, how fast you can do things once you have a code replacement set up. And it doesn't have to be numbers. You know, you can have anything you want for the shortcut words. So, for example, here in the IPTC captions for motor racing photos, I often use the word passing. So I have the letter P set up as a shortcut for passing. So I just go /P/ and it's going to type the word passing, or /F/ followed by, or /I/ in the pit lane. So again, you can, if car 60 was passing car number 1, then all I have to type is /60 space /P/ space /1 / a bit of a mouthful, but honestly, to type it only takes a split second, and that's going to create this huge caption for my photo with all the drivers' names and descriptions of all those cars that are doing the passing. So yeah, you can create anything you like here, and this is perfect for sporting events or even possibly social events where there's a lot of people there and you're constantly tagging the same people. So let's go ahead and give an example for this. So just starting in the first photo we have here, we've got the number 007 Aston Martin car here. So I just go /007 / and you can see immediately the program has entered Adrian Fernandez, Stefan Mucker, Harold Premat driving the number 007 LMP1 Aston Martin Racing Lola Coupe B09 during qualifying for the 2011 Petit Le Mans, etc., etc. You get the idea. You want to put in as many of these keywords, Aston Martin Racing Lola, as you can to help people find things in your archive. But it makes it incredibly quick. And then to move forwards to the next photo in your folder, you just simply push. You can either press this button right here, save and advance to the next photo, or you can hit Command and the square brackets there, and that saves your IPTC data to that file and moves on to the next photo. So now we have the next photo here. Another good thing is if you hover the mouse over the photo and click, it'll zoom in on the photo real quick. So if you're trying to find a detail in the photo, see when it's small like this, I can't quite make out the number of the car, but clicking that, I can see that's the number 20. So we just go /20. There we go. Move on to the next one. Double check the number here. There we go. That's the number 55 BMW /55. Now in this case, you can see his teammates also behind him, so we can go /F, which puts in followed by, and then /56, and there we go. We've got all the drivers of the number 55 car followed by all the drivers of the number 56 car, and then Command square bracket, move on to the next one. We can see this is the 012 car, so 012, and it in this method you can caption 100 photos in just a couple of minutes, and the speed at which it does things is quite phenomenal. So we can I'm not going to go through and do all of these. Let's do another one. Let's do another one right here. This is the number 8 Peugeot. So there we go. Frank Montagny, Stefan Sarazan, Alexander Wurtz driving the number 8 Peugeot Sport Total 908. There we go. So yeah, these little things I really loved, like the ability to zoom in real quick just to check on the image while you're writing the IPTC information. It's a fantastic way to work. And then You can also set all your colors down here as well, and star ratings on the side here. And that's really the combination of the variables that we explored during the import and the code replacements make this a phenomenally quick method to ingest and sort a lot of photos. So yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with it, and I really can see how, in this case, adding an extra step to your workflow actually speed things up overall. So yeah, I hope that was some help to you guys, and I think I'm going to cover a few things in the future as well, amongst integrating Photo Mechanic and Lightroom into a singular workflow, and maybe some sorting and some other functions of Photo Mechanic. But those are the things when I first started using Photo Mechanic last week, the code replacements and using the variables to speed up your captioning and fill out all the other bits and pieces. Those are some fantastic features which I thought were definitely worth bringing to people's attention. So I hope you guys found that interesting. Sorry it was a little bit long, but stay tuned for more of these in the future. Thanks.